Hi, my name is Gabriella, and I'm calling trying to seek help. Due to me, my family was kicked out. We don't have nowhere to live or to go. If you could please give me a call back as soon as possible.
I was calling to see how do I go about doing the intake for me and my fiance and my daughter. We're currently homeless, and also I'm pregnant, and I'll have my baby in 3 weeks. And we're just trying to see if you guys could maybe help out.
I have a 10-year-old and myself, and we're definitely needing a place that would be a little bit more long-term, and we certainly, need the help.
I do have small children, 3 small children with me, and we are homeless.
My son that's almost 6 months old and me, we're in need of a place to go. If there's possible any way that someone can help, please give me a call.
So I was calling because I got 2 kids and I'm homeless. I need some assistance or service or shelter.
I am seeking shelter for my son, and I don't have a transportation. We're just wondering if somebody can help us.
For me, my 2 daughters, and I have 4 babies. We are homeless, and we can't keep sleeping outside. Can you please give me a call?
Two years ago in Durham, there were 9 families unsheltered living on the street. And I thought that was horrible. Well, tonight in Durham, just 2 years later, there's 49 families unsheltered on the street in Durham. And there's 31 other families that are within 14 days of being evicted and joining the ranks of those that are unsheltered, living on the street. It's unconscionable to me.
There's many people that think homeless are, have addictions, or, they don't want to work, or they want the system to take care of them, and they don't take accountability. That is a wrong perception.
Homelessness wears many faces. It can come to you so many ways. Your house has been burned down. Your family member kicked you out of your house, or didn't make the right decisions and you don't have any more money.
There is some families that are fleeing domestic violence, and that's why they leave. There's some that it's just they lost their job and they can't afford the rent, or they're being evicted because they couldn't pay the rent. And then that goes on their credit. So then what happens, that becomes a barrier, because then a lot of landlords won't accept them because they have an eviction on their credit report.
The homeless situation in Durham is becoming worse. And that's for both single adults and families in particular. We have great times, there's lots of growth, lots of development and positive things that are happening, but unfortunately, there are many that are being impacted in negative ways. Many are being priced out of homes or housing that was once affordable that no longer is affordable.
Yeah. How did we get here?
My children triggered me coming to Families Moving Forward because they wanted to come back and live with their dad. I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son at the time. So it caused me to not have a place to actually raise my children, and we fell under the umbrella of having to move, and we actually ended up in hotel rooms. I only booked a week to stay there. That was all the money that I had, and it was pretty challenging.
I can't tell you how many times I've contemplated suicide. I can't tell you how many times I didn't want to go on anymore. My mom looked me in my face, screamed at me, and told me that she never cared about me. I didn't feel like I was worth anything, because that was basically my entire life, being told I wasn't worth anything. I have a lot of anger from PTSD from being abused when I was a child, mentally, physically, sexually. And, betrayed by those I loved, and those that were supposed to, love and protect me. I did self-harm for a while, and I suffered that a lot throughout my teenage years. And I felt like nobody would listen to me, and nobody ever wanted to hear me. Nobody wanted to ever hear, my cry.
Knowing that there's no help. You went to all of your resources. You've identified some of your family members to help you. It was really the feeling of, who can help me? And that, when you come to that feeling, that was real hard for me as a parent. And I kept reaching out to different organizations, trying to contact them, saying that, hey, I need someone to live. And that was that feeling of hurt and, kind of despair of what am I going to do? That was kind of detrimental to your mind. Just not being able to plan, not knowing where you're going to go, not knowing, what the next day may hold. And yet alone, you're still carrying along these two children.
There's a lot of times where you feel like you just want to give up. So I didn't care. I just didn't care what happened. I was going to work, I was doing whatever, and then found out I was pregnant. I left my child's father because that needed to happen. And on from there, I was living in attics, living in my brother's living room, and there's a lot of times when I didn't want to get up out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to sleep. It makes you forget. And then when you're awake, you have to face the reality that it's happening. Because a lot of my life, I've done things alone, and it's the loneliest feeling in the world. You don't know how alone you are until you are the only thing that you have. When families come to Families Moving Forward for the first time, they are so broken in so many ways by the hardships that they've endured. I remember the phone call that I got from Durant, and it was a message that was left on my office machine, and I could hear in his voice the desperation.
You called just to check on me. You didn't have space at the time, but you called to check on me. That call, your call to check up on me, saved my family. Saved me. My mind was racing. Didn't know what I was going to do the next day. Was forced to think about doing things that I did not want to do, to try to find money to live and, to continue living inside of the hotel. But your call, you told me, hang in there. I'm trying my hardest. And I could hear it in your voice. You were emotional. And the impact of that, it left me to believe that someone's working for me. Just hang on.
I came here March 22nd, and that's when I first met Michaela, which is my case manager. And from the get-go, she was very caring, and she was straightforward to the punch of what this place was and what they expected from me and what I could expect from them.
Families Moving Forward gave me that patch or that aid to actually be a great father. It really just gave me a great foundation.
My eyes were open to the fact that, these people actually really care about you. They care about your well-being. They care about your mental state, whether or not, everybody goes through things and everybody feels like they don't have anybody. But the staff here, they really show that they care. And it was an amazing thing, an amazing, feeling to have somebody proud of you for doing something, even if it was just as little as cleaning up, it just felt good, especially when you never really had that type of support your entire life.
It allowed me to foster my children, provide a shelter for them, and it actually gave me a mental stability of space and comfort and security. And Families Moving Forward gave me that shelter.
I'm worth something. I know that now. And I know that, at the end of the day, I'm worth something. If it's not to anybody else, I'm worth something to my son. I'm worth something to myself. Honestly, I can't wait until I get the keys to my place and I'm finally able to call something my home, because I haven't been able to do that. And my son will finally be able to call something his house and his home.
If it wasn't for Families Moving Forward, I don't think that I would be in a position as far as being a certified teacher. I've actually joined the teacher education program for teacher licensure. So now I have a 3-year tenure to get my teacher's licensure. So thank you for that phone call. Me coming here to Families Moving Forward has moved my family forward.
We look at homelessness and we think, we want to do these great things. We want to tackle it this way or tackle it that way. But really, we just need to start with small things. This small act, that small decision, this small way we treat those who are homeless. It's a bunch of small actions. And then before you know it, all of these little small steps have worked toward ending homelessness. We believe that we can end family homelessness. I believe that we can end family homelessness. We just have to want to.